slide it inside in that Rushman package. What do you like about that matchup for you?
I feel like sometimes we see that the guards could sometimes be a better matchup for us with our hands and our speed from the outside and coming in. So I feel like when I come in there, I'm trying to cause a ruckus and get to the quarterback. So I love it. I mean, I just love rushing from anywhere, honestly.
What did you think of getting that targeting penalty?
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, got to move on. Wish I could go back and keep my hand up and keep my head out of it. But, I mean, it's a call that the ref had to make, and, I mean, you move on.
Is there anything you learn when that happens?
I mean, yeah, it's just the little things, fundamentals. I mean, to keep your hand up, keep your head out of it. I mean, the call's been changed so long since recent years, so you just got to keep going with it and evolve with it. So, I mean, I respect it.
Caden, what's different about Big Ten play?
I mean, conference matchups. I mean, you're getting everybody's best. Everybody wants to win. They're going as hard as they can. So, I mean, it's kind of that next step, you'd say. But, I mean, it's always all about us and whatever we do. And I feel like as long as we play our game, we'll be good.
What sticks out to you about Michigan State's O-line?
I mean, we don't really look at anybody any differently. We study them all the same. We look at them all the same, and we break them down all the same. So, I mean, nothing really different, nothing really crazy than we've already seen. Oh, yeah, it's just energy. You need it. I mean, you're going to be out there on Saturday hearing it, so might as well get used to it.
I mean, how exciting is it? I mean, obviously, we love playing at home. But
Mm-hmm.
on the road, hostile environment, there is a different level of excitement.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, different going out there and they're yelling against you rather than with you, so you kind of got to get used to that. But, I mean, a lot of players use it as energy and kind of gets them going a little bit more. So, I mean, just how you see it.
Caden, what's it like playing alongside Taiwan Malone?
I love Taiwan. I mean, he's a great player. Me and him both have that baseball background, so we both kind of connect there. And he's a great player. He's really athletic and he's fast.
Coach Johnson talked about how it took Taiwan maybe a little bit of time to make the full adjustment from playing both sports to just football.
Oh, yeah.
What have you seen from this year of his progression?
You can definitely see he's kind of gotten out of that baseball body. I mean, I was a baseball player too. I had that baseball body when I first got here. I mean, he's kind of gotten into that violent hands, kind of bigger, thicker body, and then he's kind of playing his role now. He's making great plays and he's breaking out.
What's it like seeing those defensive tackles stepping up without Tyleek last week?
I mean, all of them. They all stepped up. They all filled that role for Tyleek. I mean, it was a shame that he couldn't play in that game, obviously, but I feel like all of our tackles took that role knowing that they had to step up, and they all did it.
What are the things that translate from playing baseball to playing defensive line?
I mean, the shoulder workouts are a lot different. I mean, you can actually start lifting weights. I mean, when I played baseball in high school, it was hard to lift on my left shoulder because I was a pitcher, so kind of just the way you lift. But, I mean, once you get out of it, you can just kind of do whole body and kind of just go crazy with it. So I feel like it's just kind of like with your arm a little bit more.
Did your pitching background help you learn how to rehab better in between high intense workouts?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I've kind of had that cartilage already built up there, so I kind of already know what it feels like when it gets sore and stuff. So I'd say a little bit.
What do you feel is different about your game this year compared to previous seasons? What did you get better at?
I think for me personally this year is kind of building that confidence in myself, knowing that I can do it, and just seeing myself do it day in and day out at practice, kind of just taking it from practice to the field and just trying to make a name for myself and kind of get out there and kind of make a dent in the college football world.
And you talk about
Yeah, definitely the first thing I'd say from being a pitcher is maintaining a poker face. Not everything's going to go your way, and you can definitely show it out in the field and show your emotions and express yourself. So, I mean, definitely just being able to maintain and handle the environment and the moment and the emotions you have. So, I mean, definitely just keeping a straight face and being able to continue going through it. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, but, I mean, we're all kind of the same. We all kind of work together. We're all one unit, one love.
I know you talked about other guys stepping up into that role, but how much does Tyleek matter when you're with this defensive line? Who's helping?
I mean, you guys see it. Tyleek is a great player, obviously. He could have left last year if he wanted to, but he obviously decided to stay and kind of continue his senior year, so he's definitely a major impact player on our D-line. But, I mean, definitely we're going to have those backup D-tackles later in the season, so, I mean, you can't just bank on Tyleek all year. So I feel like definitely giving that role to those D-tackles early and often kind of puts it in perspective for him that it could happen later on, and it could happen in matchup games, it could happen in big games. So kind of just letting them see that early on definitely helped too. But obviously, you'd love to have Tyleek every play if you could.
I know Jim Knowles talks about this a lot. You know, it's impressive for a defensive tackle to remain one gap or whatever, but then also to make tackles. How impressive is that to
definitely.
you as a defensive lineman to see him kind of do both?
Yeah, definitely playing that 2 gap. It's hard because you got to maintain your own gap. So if you're going into that extra gap to make that extra effort play, I mean, you got to make sure you know what you're doing, and you got to make sure you can't let the quarterback take and go into your gap and mess up the whole play. So it's kind of like it could be dangerous at times, but I mean, he's obviously smart and he's got the confidence and he can maintain his gap and get over. So I mean, it's definitely great and blissful to have.
Jim Knowles talked about not naming a defensive player of the game for this past week. How do you feel like the defense has kind of responded this week?
I mean, came out here to practice, physical. I mean, we worked out really hard, and we just keep practicing harder and harder, and hopefully it shows the results on Saturday.
What do you think that kind of says about the standard right now for you?
I mean, our bar's set really high, and it's got to be higher than every other teams in the nation because we want to be number one, and we just got to keep practicing that way every day.
If you had one word to describe a 2024 Ohio State football practice, what would be that word?
Physical. That's all it is right there. Just all out. Everything you got for however long you're going for. And if you don't give it all out, you'll definitely show up on the film not going all out.
Is that any different than last year?
It's not any different. I just think more emphasis on it. I mean, I feel like we've all kind of seen how we've always gone hard here. It's not like the last couple of years we haven't really gone hard. It's just like more emphasis on it and just kind of leaving no doubt this year, so we just don't have anything to look back on or kind of just shake our heads on.
What was your go-to off-speed pitch?
I had a crazy curveball.
What does it feel on the fastball?
I got up to like high 80s. I was getting up there a little bit. I was lefty, so that kind of helped me out a little bit too.
So the curveball probably had a nice
Oh yeah, just fooling them all.
Did you ever think about playing college baseball?
I had a couple offers to play and play 2-way, but just way too much for me. I love football too much. Thank you guys. Take care.
Thanks, Caden.